Hello YouTube. Today I want to talk about the similarities between two serious mental disorders. One is profound deafness and the other is autism. Now, when I did a school swap, I went to a mainstream school, but I did a swap with an autistic school when I was about 10. First thing I noticed is that virtually all the ones that could talk sounded deaf to my ears, of a nasal quality, a bit of a monotone, and I didn't realise that I sounded like this too until I heard my voice recorded. And years later I found out there are a number of other interesting similarities. Most important of these is, of course, visual thinking. Someone deaf from birth will always be a visual thinker, and most autistics are too. Another similarity is bluntness. Now, in deaf culture, it's considered rude not to discuss private things like sex or going to the toilet or dieting, whatever. In deaf culture, you talk about that freely. It's not a big deal. And it's the same in autistic culture, and nothing is out of bounds. Everything can be talked about freely and openly. Other similarities are, of course, muteness. A lot of deaf people never learn to talk. About a third of autistics never learn to talk. And also, those who don't learn to speak often scream in frustration or vandalise property. Deaf children especially have a number of behavioural problems which we have to deal with by giving them communication. Sign language is popular with both, although not so much in autistic culture, much more in deaf culture, naturally. And another similarity is a poor sense of time. If you're born deaf, you have a very limited sense of time. Now, why do you think that is? It's because we use sound to tell how much time is going by. If you can't hear anything, judging time is much harder. Think of a tap dripping or a clock ticking. In a silent world, time is incredibly abstract. Sense of space is fine, and it's the same in the autistic world, which is why autistics are drawn to things like clocks and hourglasses, because they have no natural body clock. If you ask me to estimate how much time has gone by, I might have been only waiting 5 minutes, and it might feel like 30 to me. I have to check the time about 20 to 40 times a day just to keep track. And a lot of autistics are actually mistaken for deaf people when they're very young, because they often ignore very loud sounds and seem oblivious to everything. Now, why am I talking about this? What's the point of it? The point of it is it's relevant for the mainstreaming versus special schools debate, which continues to rage. Do special needs children benefit from going to special school, or are they better being with normal people in a normal setting where they can learn social skills? And this disproves the idea that mainstream school is good for disabled people, because before 1943, before autism was discovered, a lot of autistic kids were mistaken for deaf children and sent to specialist deaf schools, and they did the best. They were the most successful, because in a deaf school there are visual timetables, challenging behaviour it's not accepted, but people aren't surprised by it. They aren't classed as naughty or anything like that. People understand deafness because it's so simple, and they can understand why a deaf person would scream in frustration or smash hands. And of course, sign language is used in deaf schools, which autistics are more proficient in than spoken language, because it's something they can see, it's concrete, it's not abstract. Now, of course, obviously a deaf school is not a perfect place for an autistic, But the fact that they were the ones who were the most successful shows that mainstreaming is a bad idea. Mainstreaming is the same as when the government cancelled weekly rubbish collection and replaced it with fortnightly ones. They said it was for our own good. It's the same with mainstreaming. It's cutting back, and we're told it's for our own good. Right? Don't believe a word of it. And any parent, there's probably some parents out there who wouldn't agree with me at all. But believe me, you're not going to make your child poor by sending them to a mainstream school. Not as simple as that. They might learn social cues better in a mainstream school, but the process of learning that is bullying, basically, and teasing relentlessly. Sometimes just minor verbal stuff, sometimes very vicious physical stuff. Okay? Right. See you later, YouTube. Gonna be making videos a bit more regularly now. Don't know if anyone will watch them, but who knows. Bye.